Opening shot, a sold-out Gainbridge Fieldhouse hums with nervous energy as the Indiana Fever huddle at midcourt. 11 months ago, this franchise owned the league's worst record. Tonight, it is chasing a playoff berth, powered by two record-breaking stories converging at exactly the right moment. The numbers alone are eye-catching. Rookie guard Caitlin Clark has already delivered 312 assists, shattering the previous fast-to-300 benchmark by 9 games, while second-year wing Lexi Hull has surged from a 22% shooter into the WNBA's most accurate sniper at 49.2% from deep. Let's rewind to August 18th. Indiana versus Seattle felt routine on paper, a mid-season matchup outside the national spotlight. Hull entered averaging just 4.2 points, her role defined more by deflections than buckets. From her first touch, the metrics shifted. 5 minutes in, she was 3 for 3 beyond the arc. By halftime, she was 5 for 5. The final ledger showed 22 points on 8 of 10 shooting, 6 triples in 7 tries, and a true shooting percentage north of 100% once free throws were included. It was the most efficient 20-plus point game of any WNBA player all season. Parallel to Hull's outburst, Clark was rewriting the rookie record book at warp speed. Fresh off an NCAA campaign of 31.8 points and 8.9 assists per game, the Iowa legend translated seamlessly. Through 34 contests, she has drained 102 threes, already top 5 on the single-season chart, and 1/3 of those have come from at least 27 feet, according to Second Spectrum tracking. Yet her playmaking is the headline. Clark's 9.2 assist percentage relative to team makes is the highest ever for a first-year pro. The ripple effects are everywhere. When Clark initiates pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston, the sophomore center scores at 1.26 points per possession, up from 0.96 last year. Kelsey Mitchell, Long Indiana's lone perimeter threat, now averages 7.4 wide-open attempts nightly, a career best. Since Hull joined the starting lineup, Indiana's offensive rating has climbed from 100.8 to 107.3, third best in the league over that span. The Fever average 1.45 points per spot-up when Hull is on the floor, compared to 0.98 when she sits. Statistically, the signature night arrived September 8th against Atlanta. Indiana trailed by 16 late in the second quarter. Win probability dipped below 8%. Clark closed the gap with 7 points and 4 assists in 3 minutes, but the fourth belonged to Hull. She drilled back-to-back threes to erase the deficit, then buried a dagger triple with 1:12 left in overtime, nudging her season accuracy to that league-leading 49.2%. Final score, 104-100. Clark finished with 29 points, 11 assists, and her 100th made 3. Hull added 18 on 4 of 6 from distance. Boston dominated inside with 30 points and 13 boards. Indiana's broader metrics underscore how rare this turnaround is. The Fever rank first in pace, increase year over year, plus 4.3 possessions per 48 minutes, and second in three-point rate jump, from 26% of attempts to 34%. Their assist percentage has swollen from 57 to 71, mirroring Clark's arrival. Defensive efficiency, once a glaring weakness, sits 5th since the All-Star break, backed by Hull's 2.8 deflections per game and Boston's 1.5 blocks. Context matters. The franchise had missed the playoffs 8 straight seasons, cycling through 4 head coaches in 7 years. Ticket sales sagged. Local broadcasts averaged 37,000 viewers. In 2024, average home attendance has doubled to 9,400. And that September 8th telecast drew 568,000 national viewers, peaking at 913,000 in overtime. On social media, Clark to Hull highlights racked up 14.6 million combined Instagram views in August alone, driving a 310% jump in the Fever's follower count year over year. Numbers also fuel skepticism. Can Hull's touch stay this hot? Tracking indicates sustainability. 78% of her attempts are catch and shoot, 64% are wide open, and her 0.68-second release is elite. Clark's blemish remains turnovers, 4.7 per game, but that figure has fallen to 3.8 post-All-Star break. Coach Christy Sides points to improved spacing. Indiana averages 1.17 points per trip when Clark and Hull share the floor versus 0.98 when one sits. Players insist the chemistry is organic. Off-camera, Hull and Clark close most practices with a routine. 100 corner threes for Hull, 100 pocket pass reps for Clark, then a race to sink 5 logo shots each. Hull credits Clark's Jeep's vision for making her job easy. Clark counters that Hull's gravity buys me an extra second you won't see in a box score. Opposing coaches have scrambled, Box-and-one schemes on Clark invite open looks for Hull, who punishes them at nearly 1.50 points per possession. Shade too hard toward Hull, and Clark knifes inside, where Boston converts 71% on passes delivered within 3 feet of the rim. The Fever stretch defensive coverage to every corner, a spacing burden rarely seen in the WNBA. With 5 games left, Indiana sits 17-17, 4 clear of the playoff cut line. 538 projects a 78% chance to clinch and a 14% chance to reach the finals, numbers unimaginable 6 months ago. Clark's 20.4 scoring average trails only Tamika Catchings among Fever rookies, and her 8.9 assists per game would rank second in league history for any season. Hull is on pace to become just the 3rd player to finish above 48% from 3 on at least 200 attempts, joining Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird. The momentum is reverberating across the league. Merchandise trackers report Clark jerseys moving at 1.8 times the rate of the previous rookie record, while Hull's replica jersey cracked the top 10 for the first time in her career. StubHub lists Fever road tickets at a 64% premium over face value. Revenue is following results. The immediate future will offer a definitive stress test. Indiana's next 4 games include Las Vegas, New York, Dallas, and Connecticut, 3 of the top 5 defenses in the league. Those matchups put Clark opposite perennial all-WNBA stoppers Alicia Clark and Betnijah Laney, while Hull faces the Aces wing rotation that holds opponents to 32% from deep. If the Fever offense maintains its current 109.6 rating through that gauntlet, the conversation around sustainable contention shifts from speculation to confirmation. For now, the micro story is enough. A franchise revived by statistical extremes. One guard redefining rookie ceilings, one wing rewriting her shooting DNA, and a fan base rediscovering what a packed gym sounds like in Indiana. When the Fever jog out for warm-ups, the decibel meter spikes to 102, equal to a jet on approach. Numbers narrate atmosphere. That is what Clark and Hull have injected into a city that once hoisted WNBA banners and then spent years watching from home. As the latest buzzer sounds and yet another graphic flashes, Hull 49.2% from 3, Clark 312 assists, Boston 54% from the field, Mitchell 18.7 points per 36 minutes. No embellishment is needed. The metrics speak louder than any highlight reel. Indiana no longer sneaks up on anyone. It wins by headline, by spreadsheet, and increasingly by scoreboard. All that remains is to see how high the numbers can climb before someone finds a way to slow them down.